Welcome to a new episode of the FPL.
Zekret.
Hello there, my name is Zekret and today is the first video of the weekly series Scout and Court. It will be after each game week and we will set court to judge some players by numbers and also by eye test to take a decision whether to keep the player or kick him out of our team. And we also gonna scout some players who potentially could be beneficial to our team in the upcoming game weeks. And let's start with the court. A lot of people got Foden after we heard before the deadline that he's starting, and he got them nothing. Foden played in different roles, mainly in Gundogan's role and sometimes on the wings. It's still unclear if he will gain a place on the sides with the presence of Grealish, Bernardo, Alvarez and also the potential signing of Doku. Or he will continue to play deep in the absence of De Bruyne. In addition to this, Foden is still out of form. His numbers were really poor against Burnley in the first game. 0.29 xG and 0.15 xa is not the numbers that we expected from Foden. So it's still unclear regarding Foden. If you have him already, you can wait for the Newcastle game, or even you can watch him at the Sevilla game in the Super Cup to see if he's back a little at his levels, so you can keep him. If not, you can ditch him, but I suggest you can wait for a game or two. And if you don't own him, no need at all to hurry and get him after the De Bruyne news. And that's all about Foden. Dismissed. Our second accused is Kai Havertz. A lot of people, including myself, expected him to play in the number 9 spot in the absence of Jesus, but I was surprised when I saw Nketiah took his place in the number 9 and scored in the last game. And Havertz was just spinning around the box doing absolutely nothing. So now it's not just Trossard or Martinelli that can compete with him and play centrally up front. It's Nketiah as well. So yeah, our differential might be a trap and we do need to get rid of him as soon as possible. And it's not just because of the competition or that he didn't play up front in the first game. It's also about his attitude on the pitch. If you look at his face during the game, it's a face of someone who hates football and someone who doesn't give a fuck about the game. And if you would like to judge him by numbers, here you go. His XG was 0.05 and his XA was 0.24. So here you go. Farewell to the German. The competition for Almiron is going to be serious. There are players in Newcastle that are better than him, particularly Isaac and Jordan, because I expect Barnes to be nailed on the left soon. And Eddie Howe sometimes would like to play Wilson and Isaac together, so it's a bad news for Almiron, who was very poor against Villa in the first game with an XG 0.05 and XA 0.07, and he played around 87 minutes. That's a goalkeeper numbers, not a winger at all. So I can't believe some people went for Son at 9 million and dropped Richarlison and Maddison. The wingers in Spurs are not that good under the new manager. With him, it's all about attacking from the middle and the runs of the fullbacks behind the defense. Son played 75 minutes with an XG 0.10 and XA 0.05. He's no longer on set pieces in the presence of Maddison, and I'm not sure if he's gonna be on penalties too. So yeah, if you have the Korean, it's time to say so long. I wanted to talk about nearly most of Manchester United's players, but it seems that the whole team is not okay at the moment, and it won't be wise to ruin all our plans. I know a lot of us have a player in 2 and 3 from Manchester United, so I suggest we can wait for another game or two and then we can take rough decisions and ditch some of them. Moving on to scouting, have you noticed Alvarez? At the moment, it could be the best double up from City to get the 2 attackers, Haaland and Alvarez. Now there is no De Bruyne, and we saw last game that Alvarez played alongside Haaland and De Bruyne. So it seems right now he can play in different scenarios. He can play whenever Haaland is rested, and he can play in the place of De Bruyne, who is injured. And as we saw last game, he can play as a second late striker as well. All that increases the chances that he could be a regular starter in the upcoming games, and also he got an XG of 0.35, an XA of 0.37, which is very good, and he had 6 key passes and an assist, so it's decent. All the talk about Maddison effect is true. Maddison was superb against Brentford, providing 2 assists, and he could provide more with an XA 0.95. And if we discover that we would be on penalties too, that would be very hard to resist. He has United next, and after that he have some decent games, so yeah, if you have an empty slot in midfield, you can save it for him. And even against United, he can do something. We also, the last game United wasn't so good, so it might be. Chilwell was an attacker, not a left back. If you saw the last game, you would swear to God that he is the second attacker beside Jackson. He got an assist, got a goal that was denied for offside. He looked extremely dangerous. Even if the numbers doesn't seem to be on his side, the eye test says it all. A lot of the 6.5 mets did the job and got you points, and some of them weren't lucky to get some points. But I'm attached by Diaby from Aston Villa, who usually plays as a second striker beside Watkins. He has a great quality and also a decent fixtures. Even we saw that Newcastle dominated the game, Diaby succeeded to score, and he got an XG of 0.28 and an XA of 0.11. It's not the best, but I really expect that to improve in the next games because it's much easier. Okay, there you go guys, that was the first Scout and Court video of the season. I hope it was fair. So don't forget to like and subscribe and join our mini league. And until next time then, see ya.